Hi guys, good morning. So I'm just putting a little video together to help you with your with the M2 on this assignment, so you can sort of tie this up and you have access to it. Right. So here's the question. You have access to this already, and the question requires you to put together, if you like, what the cost is of a widget. Let me just see if the pen's working. Yes, so it wants you to put together the cost of a widget. Yes, here we are, a widget, and also the cost of a gizzard and a cruet. And it tells you how many widgets you're making and how many gizzards and how many cruets. Now, what we talked about, if you remember, we talked about what direct costs were. So you have your direct costs here, your direct cost of the raw materials used and the labor being used as well. So these are your direct costs. But what you also have as well are some overheads, and the whole topic is about how do we get the overheads into these items. So the first question really says that the first task really is asking you to is saying, well, it says calculate the full cost per unit. And the full cost is, it says, using traditional absorbed cost and using direct labor hours as the basis of the apportionment. So what we need to be doing is sort of finding what the total number of hours are, if you like. So first, and then sort of split that according to the ratio, because we are arguing that, I'll just go over here, we are arguing that overheads are being driven by labor. That's what we're saying when we talk about this idea of an overhead absorption rate. So we are sort of saying that, well, our overheads, what's causing our overheads? So what we have to do is get the total number of labor hours for the gizzards, for the cruets, for the widgets, add them all together, and then you can find the overhead per labor hour. And if you know what the overhead per labor hour is, what we've done is we've converted overheads into like materials or labor. That's exactly what we've done. So let's go back, and I'm going to do the first one for you, and then you can carry on with the others. Right. So let's look at it. So let me just keep that. Let's discard that. So just coming back here to my. So you can see here that my. All right. So what do I see here? It tells me that you used 0.1 labor hours per unit. So if you have 0.1 labor hours per unit and you made 15,000 units, well, that's 0.1 times 15,000, isn't it? So that's, if you like, 1,500 labor hours. And then here, if you have 0.15 times 12,000, if you have 0.15 labor hours per unit for gizzards, well, that means you have a total of 0.15 times 12,000. So that's 1,800 here. And then here, if you have 0.2 hours per unit and you made 18,000 units, you can see that that's 0.2 times 18,000. Gives you 3,600. So you have a total of 1,500 plus 1,800 plus 3,600 as your total labor hours. So what do we do? Add them all together. 1,500 plus 1,800 plus 3,600, and that will give you 6,900. So what we now need to do is divide. We need to then find, well, what's the total overhead? Well, the total overheads for now, because we don't know about this breakup, remember we have what's referred to as absorption-based costing, and we have what's referred to as activity-based costing. So I'm just focusing for now on absorption-based costing, where we argue that the overheads are only driven by labor hours. So we don't know about this breakup. So the total overheads are the 26,550 plus the 66,400 plus the 48,000 plus the 54,320. And that comes to a total, adding these four things together, that comes to a total of 195,270. So what I now have is this total of 195,270 being driven by 6,900 hours. Well, so that means that 1 hour, if you like, is causing 195,270 divided by 6,900, right? Because what I'm saying is the 6,900 is causing 195,270 hours, right? And so the argument, therefore, is, well, what is 1 hour? Pounds, hours. So my first question really is, well, what is the value of 1 hour? So all I have to do is divide the 195,270 divided by 6,900 hours, and I have 28.3. So if you like, if I was buying an overhead hour, I'd be paying £28, right? It's £28 an hour. So the issue now here is this: how do I get the cost? How does that work with this? So now I have my material, I have my labor, and it tells me that, well, so far, when I'm doing my widgets, a widget tells me that I use 2 kilograms per unit. You can see it there, where it says use 2 kilograms, and it tells you that the cost of a kilogram is £1.20. So my material cost is 2 times £1.20. My labor cost, well, I use 0.1, a tenth of an hour, 6 minutes, and it tells you pay £14.80, so that's 0.1 times 14.8. And now I have this thing, this overhead. I know it's £28.30 an hour, and I just use a tenth, 0.1. So here I have, just multiply this, get this, and add them together. And that becomes your full cost. Material, labor, and overheads, all included. And you can see why I want to have the full cost, because if I'm going to be pricing a product, I want to make sure I include everything. It tells you your selling price is £7.50. So if your selling price is £7.50, now you can, if you like, subtract this total from this £7.50, and you'll get your, if you like, your profit, so to speak, on the unit. So with this mindset, now that you know this is £28.30 an hour, you can find the absorption cost in terms of the overheads for gizzards and for cruets, and just add in the raw material cost, which will be 3 kilograms times, well, £1.20, and 4 times £1.20, and here it will be 0.15 for the labor times £14.80, and 0.2 times £14.80, and just do the same thing, and just put that in the table, and you're there for your full cost. So really, what I'm asking, the question simply asks, what is this thing? Just add this all together, and the way we found it was to kind of find this first, this bit over here, by finding the total number of labor hours, adding all the absorption, the full cost of all the overheads, and dividing by that, because we are arguing that this is what's causing the overhead. Okay, great stuff. I'll stop that now, and then I'll do the ABC, absorption-based costing, in the next video. Okay.